Chapter 29, something I'm guilty of. Don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that the words will be encouragement to those who hear them. Dad, does that mean just profanity?
No. Not to me.
What does it mean to you?
Actually, you can, when you talk down to somebody, that more it's just saying like, things I know that we've gone through, not to say, well, I use the word, don't belittle somebody.
Right.
By putting them down, saying you're no good, you're worthless. And that, to me, that's swearing, but that is not that is putting it down there. That's saying it's not wholesome for you to do that.
Now, I'm going to kind of pry a little bit here, and if you don't want to respond, that's totally understandable. Has there been something that you have said that you wish you could have pulled back?
Well, there's been a lot of things. I'll just put it that way.
Okay. Good.
And also, I've had it done to me too, so I know. Because I've, in X, was always putting me down, making me try and feel like I'm this tall, and that doesn't feel good. So I've tried to, when I've said, doing some of that stuff, I didn't do it in front of the kids when we had them, but Mom and I got rather testy about the X.
Mom got any weapons over there that she can throw at you?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. She understood she was understanding where I was coming from. Though granted, she may not approve of what I was saying, but she understood where I was coming from with that. And part of it was I was actually voicing, lack of a better word, hatred to the ex for things that she's done, but it stemmed back to when she was putting me down. That type thing.
You almost become, after a while of living with it, you almost become a little oversensitive, and you get to the point you're trying to cut stuff off at the pass at times, don't you?
Yes.
And that's something I myself am guilty of, is, more than one person has said at times, I'm a little on the sensitive side. But after so long of living with exes that would their solutions for me as a person were either working me 22 hours a day and beating me with frying pans, or getting me hooked on narcotic pain pills. And that's how they would deal with me. So now I've almost become the opposite of what I was. Annie can attest to this. In high school, I was the quiet little geeky kid.
Band nerd.
Now and this is something that I'm working on, is now it's take your pill. And I work on it. And granted, there's people that take one look at me and start laughing because they know that I'm still the quiet little kid on the inside. But there's other people that look at me and go, 6'7", red eyes right now, red hair. Oh crap. Annie, what about you? What does verse 29 mean to you?
Let me get back to it. Well, in ours it says, don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that your words will be an encouragement to those who hear them. To me, it means not only don't use the foul language, but in general, just keep with with all your efforts, keep your words, glorifying to the person, not only to God Himself, but keep your words, soft, non-hardening to the person that you're saying them to. Watch what you say. There's the old adage, think before you speak. Granted, I'm one that doesn't always live by it, but my parents used that phrase more often than I can remember, and so after a while it became a thing I really didn't like hearing from them, was think before you speak, think before you speak, think before you speak. Well, it really makes a lot of sense, and it really does. Now that I'm learning more about the Bible, I'm realizing that a lot of things that I refer to as old adages were old because they were already in here.
A couple thousand years old, if not older, huh?
Yeah.
And okay, same question for Dad that I gave Dad for you.
What?
Is there anything in here, how did I word it, Dad, that you're guilty of that you haven't really admitted to?
Granted, I don't have the best self-image on myself, but I hate to put it this way, but look at the role models I've had over the years.
And I'm not. I'll tell you, that's when you started bringing that up on her with the self-image. I'm just listening from what I'm used to, and basically how you were raised and everything. I can see where it's going to take a lot of effort, and she is working on herself to do. And it's a deep down ingrained feelings that she has that I have the same thing. There's times, and Mom's gotten after me for this because I do put myself down quite a bit, and when I start doing that, I have to hide the frying pans, knives.
I love you.
It's that kind of thing. So I know where she's coming from in this.
Yeah.
And I've seen changes, and I've noticed. And I know, and part of it I applaud Mom for it. To help, basically, makeup and with your hair and everything. I know Mom's told me that you never had that when you were growing up, and somebody to help.
Well, it was
to show you how.
Yeah, it was. My mom was never shown. From what she told me, she was never shown how to do the girl thing, because my grandmother, supposedly being in the carnival, either didn't have the time, wasn't at home, things like that, or my grandmother may have never been shown either. Yeah. And it just goes right on down the line. And anytime my friends would try to show me, it was, well, they do it for me instead of showing me how. For instance, like a curling iron, let's do your bangs for a minute, and I'll curl them up or curl them backwards, and they don't really show you how. And, Mom can attest to this, being a woman, I'm sure you could too, Dad, having longer hair, going into a salon or a barber, bidding on how long it's been for you, is that you basically have to, for what I know, you have to pay them extra to get them to show you how to do it. So there's nobody up until Mom's actually taken the time to show me how to do it. And I think it's great. No, I think it's great that, I'm actually starting to feel
better about yourself.
A little bit better about myself. But then again, I also know that from what I've been doing in my own personal Bible studies, that it really doesn't matter how we look on the outside as it does what it looks like here is what the Lord really cares about. And, unfortunately, I'm going to put it out there, American public is guilty of it the most, is our outward appearance. So, but I've said enough.
I'm